Oh yeah, what's up, everybody? 1 2 1 2 with a place to be. I am Frank Red. How you feel out there? Joining you on the late night tip for another edition of the In the Dungeon show. Couldn't pass it up. So many good things are happening in the world of sports, and particularly the team that we talk about quite a bit on this particular show. The Golden State Warriors have won 3 games in a row on the road, and even when they're losing, they look like a different team. So I want to give the listeners out there an opportunity to talk about it and to share your thoughts about the prospects of success as the Warriors move forward. Selfishly, also, I wanted to pat myself on the back because I'm happy right now. My New York Knicks are going through some adversity with injuries and all that stuff, but as you look forward, I think you got to like where the Knicks are going. In the much talked about, anticipated NBA trade deadline, I think the New York Knicks probably made the most noise going out and getting Bogdanovich from Detroit and a man from Colorado also, another guard. So they got a lot of depth now. Presumably, Julius Randle and OG Anunoby are going to come back and be able to contribute towards success. Yeah, I like what the Knicks are doing. We can get into that more closely to where we hang out here in Northern Cal and the state of California. The Golden State Warriors are making their run. And even when the Warriors were losing, Steve Kerr focused on how the team was playing. And they were playing well. And he said, if we can continue to play like we're playing now, we're going to go get some wins. And he was absolutely correct. I think he has modified his coaching style a little bit, though. He's lessened the reins a little bit. Quietly, I think that Joe Lacob is not like other owners. He actually knows what's going on. He's a basketball guy. And he's never going to embarrass the people that work for him. But I think, he's offering his insights on what the team should do. How much Kerr and the fellow coaches take that into consideration is a question mark. But I think that it feels like it's more collaborative at this point. We'll get into it. The Warriors defeat the Indiana Pacers 131-109. And right now in the NBA, there's nobody playing better than Stephen Curry. I got some thoughts about that. I'm going to share those with you as we evolve on this particular program. All right. My name is Frank Red. If you don't know, listening for the first time, pleasure to meet you. And hopefully you got some thoughts and you can add something to the program, or you can just sit back and listen and check us out and decide if this is something you want to tune into the future. All right. Hit me up at Big Frank Red on X. Love to converse back and forth with people throughout the week or when I'm not doing shows. I'm not always right. I'm right a lot, but I'm not always right about everything. So I love a good back and forth. All right. Hit the subscribe button to the show if you, at some point, draw the conclusion that you like it and you want to be on the up and up on what's going on. Just hit the subscribe button. All right. It definitely helps. No doubt about it. We're building some momentum, and I like that. But we're doing things the right way. All right. I also, in another, I want to say tweet, as opposed to like an X bomb or something like that. I got a little juice tonight because another one of my records came out. And I don't know if it's in all the digital stores or whatever, but it is on YouTube. And I shared the link on my Twitter account. Check it out, where I'm supposed to be. I'm a harsh critic because I'm a real hip hop head. And if I like it, if I like my music, it's pretty good. I wouldn't put anything out that's whack. I wouldn't do it because that's a part of my legacy. All right. So you decide for yourself, but check it out, all right? Where I'm Supposed to Be by Frank Red. That is me, all right? Let's get the show started and go out and talk to my man, Brian Iglesias. He says, Frank, you were right. Jonathan Kuminga has arrived. Well, a lot of people were right, but I was steadfast because you don't see players like that. And when I look at when I look at Jonathan Kuminga, I think of myself from this perspective. I had battles with my coaches because my coaches cared about me, and they saw the talent that I had, and they didn't always want to explain to me in a way that I wanted to hear it. And my coaches were not always right, but talent is talent. And I mean, I don't know if I saw Jonathan doing what he's doing right now. I saw him ascending, but he's the second best player. Well, he's the second most talented player on the Warriors. Let's say that. Not many teams in the league have a Kuminga. I don't know any. Potential all-star, man. I mean, he's 21. Is that crazy? Every aspect of his game has improved. Every aspect of his game has improved. And I think Steve Kerr, at some point, just kind of threw his hands up in the air and said, listen, the only thing I can do at this point, if I continue to coach Jonathan the way that I am, is screw him up. Just let him go. And as a result, we see the dividends. The young man is playing high-level basketball. Yeah, you have the occasional turnover, but his assist-to-turnover ratio has gone way down. It's more in line now. When he goes to the basket, I'm enjoying watching him play. Outside of Stephen Curry, he's the next player on the team that I can't wait to see. And there's so many guys on the team that's playing well, and we're going to talk about that. Brian Iglesias says, no, Frank. You can say JK is the second best player on the Warriors. He's balling right now. Yeah, he is, but you know what? Let's be careful. Because consistency, greatness is built over a long period of time. You could say the second best player, but he's not the second most important player. That would be Draymond Green. Draymond Green, since he came back, is playing at an extremely high level. And he is the king of accountability on the court. When his teammates see him playing the level of defense that he's playing or exhibiting the effort that he's exhibiting, they have no choice but to fall in line. Maybe their rotation defenses wasn't that bad. The guys just weren't listening. I don't know. But they're playing better defense now. They actually embarrassed Indiana tonight. Let's be honest. They really have. But, sometimes I try to take a step back because I really know basketball. And I've been watching the game for a long time. Played with some tremendous players. Tremendous. And I've been a coach for a long time. We're starting to build more and more listeners, so I might, tell some of the stories multiple times, because people never heard them before. Those who've been with me for a while have. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I played with some of the best point guards ever. I played in the summer in college with Mark Jackson for 3 straight summers. Mark Jackson and I played at City College together for 3 straight years. He and I played at West 4th Street together. He made me a better player. And I'm just soaking all that knowledge up. I played with a lot of talented players. And I'm a student of the game. I love basketball. Walt Clyde Frazier is my favorite player. So I see things. I don't always get it right, but I know basketball. And the one thing that I'll take credit for is I said, when everybody was like, well, trade, and I was like, no, I like this roster. I like this team. I like the Warriors roster. Yeah, they're a little undersized, but they got depth. They got more depth now. I don't know if they have the most depth, but they're up there. They really are. My man Immortal says Draymond has been balling, has been hooping. Yes, he has, man. I like this iteration of Draymond. Still challenging officials, but more importantly, challenging his teammates. You know? Brian says, do you remember the narrative that the Warriors need a big man who can get a bucket in the post or down low in the paint? They have that player. It's JK. He's been fantastic the last month. Listen, he's been one of the most attractive young players in the NBA. The whole league sees it. What's frustrating to me is, and I understand why, most former players who have just kind of got into the broadcast industry over the past decade or so, or maybe even longer than that, they don't like the Warriors. They don't like them. Like, I'm listening to TNT's postgame show, and they're listing all the teams. Listen, the Warriors have 25 losses. Like, the fourth or fifth seed has like 21 losses. 4 games. And what happens in the last 30, 35 games of the year? You play teams within your conference. I don't know if the Warriors can get to the 6th seed, but they got a chance. Think about all of the close games that the Warriors played against teams within their conference. Now, you could run out of games. That can happen. But the idea that they're somehow so far behind some of the top tier teams in the Western Conference, I disagree with that. Now, to win it all, even to make it to the finals, it's going to be tough. This is one of the toughest years that I can remember. The reigning champion Denver Nuggets are, I don't think quite as good as they were last year, but they're good. And beating them 4 times in a series is going to be tough. The LA Clippers, as long as the Clippers don't have a catastrophic injury, they're going to be a tough nut for everybody. You got to consider the Lakers because they got LeBron, they got AD. Sacramento Kings, I'm a little salty on right now. That loss to the Detroit Pistons was embarrassing. Their fans know it. The players know it. Mike Brown knows it. And that can be a one-off. I mean, the Warriors had a couple of those this year. But the Sacramento Kings are not trending in the direction that I think their fans and people who support them wish that they were. I can't really put my finger on it. It's inconsistency. De'Aaron Fox is not playing as well. He's been hurt a couple of times this year. Malik Monk has not been as consistent. So the Warriors are ascending. I love the Warriors' depth. Now I'm going to tell you another player that I want to talk about. Brandon Podzinski. This is how I envisioned him playing. As a facilitator, rebounder, defender, charge taker, not somebody who's putting up big points. If you've noticed, Brandon is playing his best basketball now, passing the ball, driving to the basket with unorthodox releases and things of that nature. Less me, less look at me. It's more like, yo, let me help this team win. Taking pressure off Stephen Curry. I love what I see from this young man. And the reality is, if he continues along this trajectory, he's going to be what? First or second team all rookie? Which is a credit to him. The offense is going to come, but his ability to make all the other plays, basketball plays, is pretty impressive, and I want to salute him. I salute you, Brandon. Keep it up. He also is responsible for Corey Joseph being jettisoned to Indiana. And they're going to cut him, I guess. I don't know that for sure. I felt sorry for Corey, but you want to be an NBA player? Keep your head on a swivel. All right? That is a direct, Corey not being here anymore is a direct correlation to Brandon Podzinski playing well as a facilitator, backup point, along with CP3 coming back. So it's tough business, man. Really is. Immortal says Pods has been balling too. I feel like he's been the template for how young players like Guy and Lester can come on the court and play with the vets. Totally agree with you. Totally agree. And, you know, I wasn't willing to give it up for Lester Quinones at first either, because I know what they're looking for. Lester has clearly been very coachable because he's modified his game. It sounds like a cliche, because it is, but it's very meaningful. When somebody says the game has slowed down, that means literally you can write a book about the game slowing down. That's how important it is. Every now and then, Lester will get a little twitch and he'll kind of jack one up. And I'm like, yo, slow down, dude. But he is hustling. He's making shots. He even modified his shooting form. That's how meticulous I am. When I watch players, because I'm a talent evaluator. I'm a talent evaluator, and I'm a personal coach. I coach teams. I look at everything. Give the Warriors coaches credit for that. Be it in the G or somebody with the big club, but they clearly watched tape or watched film on Lester's shot, and they've modified his shot. His shot is straighter now. There's more arc, and he's shooting the ball much better. So if you can bring somebody up your bench and know that they're going to give you excellent defense, you win it. Because inconsistency is what separates the good teams. That's why a team like the Miami Heat can consistently make it to higher levels in the playoffs, because they're very consistent once they get there. You know, not like Philly. Like, you know, I never believed in Philly. Because Joel Embiid is one of the most talented big men to ever put an NBA uniform on. He is. He's more talented than him, but he reminds me of Chris Washburn. Some of you people out there too young to know who Chris Washburn is, go look him up. Embiid is more skilled than Chris Washburn. But I have never seen Joel Embiid in shape. Never. And basketball has a lot of similarities to boxing. Conditioning matters. It really does. I mean, and think about this, y'all. Can you really quantify what Stephen Curry is doing right now? 35, y'all. About to be 36. His conditioning is impeccable. Now, I know his wife is a chef, and that certainly helps. But his conditioning is unbelievable. And that is his foundation. The shooting is there, but his body allows him to do all the things that his mind, his great mind, wants to do. I've said it before, I'll say it again. At the end of the day, when Draymond Green is accepting his Hall of Fame speech, I hope he says something about the discipline that he's had to keep his body in shape. Because if you follow Draymond's career going back to Michigan State, Draymond, he was never fat, but he was kind of husky. He was a big dude. Draymond has kept his weight within probably 7 or 8 pounds for over a decade. And as a result, he's made hundreds of millions of dollars and won 4 titles. So any athlete that has achieved greatness over a period of time is just a beast about conditioning. And hats off to the Warriors. The Warriors are, they're an older team, and now they are developing young guys to take up some of those minutes. They're going to be fun to watch. Now, Saturday's game against the Phoenix Suns is a big game because Phoenix is not a good defensive team. And I don't think that their big three can outscore really good teams. And I'm going to tell you why. Because as a strategy, what you're going to do in the playoffs is you're going to slow the game down against Phoenix. All of those possessions, all of those three-point shots, attempts, it's just not going to be there. Whomever plays Phoenix is going to muck it up. Be it the Dallas Mavericks, the New Orleans Pelicans, even the Warriors. Part of the reason why the Warriors are capable of playing at a very high level is because the Warriors not only shoot well, they execute in the half court. If you watch Phoenix play, think about Phoenix. What is their offense? KD, 1 dribble left, 2 dribble left, shoot. Bradley Beal, the same thing. Devin, the same thing. Those guys really don't get to the cup. Bradley Beal gets there more than the other 2 great players. Phoenix is talented, but I don't think Phoenix is going to be there at the end. I just don't. If they shock me, if they prove me wrong, then that'll be fantastic. But schematically, when I look at them, they don't scare me at all. They don't. The Pelicans are grimy. They're talented. They're good. They're young. OKC really doesn't scare me either. They don't. I think you put a zone against OKC and, you hedge on their shooters. Isaiah Joe, Shea, Gil, Alexander. He can shoot, but he's not a great shooter. They don't have any great shooters. They got great players. They're young, which is why they went out and got a player. So I think coming out of Western Conference, you got to respect Minnesota, but I don't know. The Clippers and Denver, to me, are the 2 teams, if I'm a Warrior fan or a Kings fan, I would be most concerned about. I think if you get to Minnesota's backup point guard, they might think they don't even need a backup point guard because they have Anthony Edwards dribbling the ball up and orchestrating the offense. But I think if you can get to Minnesota's backup point, they might have some challenges. All right. So, kind of gave you the landscape of what I'm thinking about with regards to the Western Conference. You got thoughts on the Warriors, then put them out there. One of the things that I like about some of the folks that check the show out is they'll put things in the chat that I'm not thinking about and just ask me questions. I love that. I love when people ask me questions and I can just kind of respond. I dig that. Now, here's a thought that I had. The Warriors had the unfortunate tragedy of losing one of their family members in Coach Decky, right? But one of the things that I noticed, and no one is doing head spins or patting themselves on the back or smiling about this. Nobody is. Not the Warrior fans, and certainly not the players or people associated with that community. But when the Warriors stopped play for a good reason, it gave this team a chance to mentally and physically rest while grieving. And if you observe this team when they came back, they were fresher. You know, nobody wants to have that reality come to fruition by losing a community and a family member. But when I look at one of the outcomes of that tragedy was the Warriors got a chance to kind of get themselves refreshed mentally and physically. Even Draymond Green, when Draymond Green came back from his 16-game suspension, a lot of people were thinking, well, how's this guy going to be? They had no idea. He came back in great shape once he got out on the court, and mentally and physically energized, ready to go. And I think that has been a part of the narrative with regards to this team playing better, along with the continued minutes that many of the younger players got. And when I look at Jonathan Kuminga, again, really good players start to emerge after 3 years. That's why, I'm not real, hyped on rookies. You know, rookies get that first experience of success. That's good and bad. The bad part is you've never dealt with adversity. You know, you tweak a knee. You know, you bust your ankle up. You go through a prolonged shooting slump. Your minutes are cut by the head coach without any real good explanations why. How do you deal with it? That's why I'm not overwhelmed by rookies. It takes 3 years, 3-4 years. That's why I know a guy like Moses Moody is a keeper. And when I mean a keeper, I mean this guy's going to have a solid NBA career. Will it be with the Warriors? Doesn't look like it. But he's such a quality individual. The Warriors did exactly what I thought they would do. Nothing. Because the Warriors are really particular about who they bring into their organization. I've said it, many people will say it, who had a snapshot into the organization. They're class personified. They check you out. They watch you. They know who you are. And they hold everybody accountable with regards to character. So I'm not surprised that the Warriors didn't bring anybody in to the organization. Also, some of these teams that were supposedly, looking for fire sales, like the Chicago Bulls, I'm not surprised the Bulls didn't do that. When I look at the Chicago Bulls, I see all those coaches. I see the head coach. They got jobs. They're fighting for their lives every day. They want to win like everybody else. It's not about winning the championship. It's about going out and doing the best job that you can do. That's what this is about. That's why you didn't see that many moves on this mighty trade deadline. You know, nobody wants to give away good players that they develop. They don't want to do it. SG, what's up, brother? We're having a good time, man. Oh, yeah, I've been thinking about this all day. And prayers up for my man Scott Pollard, former Sacramento King, Kansas Jayhawk. Right now, he's in a hospital, I guess the Vanderbilt Hospital, University of Vanderbilt, trying to find a heart. He needs a heart transplant desperately. He needs our prayers. He needs everything, man. 6'11", 7-footer. Is not looking good, but hopefully there will be a miraculous occurrence in the positive for him, and he'll get the heart that he needs. But it's really sad. I guess his dad had some complication with his heart before he passed as well. But 46 years old. I've never seen Scott Pollard when he wasn't smiling. You know, going in the Kings locker room, just seems like a great guy. And, you know, thinking positive things about his prospects. I hope things work out for him. And just also, in the essence of it was, he apparently has an irregular heartbeat, right? I have an irregular heartbeat, and I've had an irregular heartbeat for a long period of time, and I'm doing fine. I'm great, you know, but I take medication. You know what I'm saying? And you need to take it to regulate your heart properly. As long as I do that and I exercise the way I do and live the way that I do, I'm in tremendous shape and I feel great. But I do understand the complications of having an irregular heartbeat. And again, I wanted to acknowledge Scott Pollard, send your prayers out for him, but also send your positive vibes out to him, you know? SG says WWE has some really gorgeous female wrestlers such as Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton. Yeah, nice for you to objectify them and focus on how they look as opposed to their lovely talent, SG. I'm joking, dude. I'm not mad at you. Yeah, I don't particularly watch it. I remember walking into a sports bar on like their Super WrestleMania day. I checked it out for a couple of minutes, but you know, I'm old school, man. Bob Backlund off the ropes. That's a level of wrestling that I remember. But yeah, good. I'm glad you like it. There's some other news happening, y'all, in the world of sports. The Super Bowl is on Sunday. I don't get crazy hyped about it. I'm going to enjoy the Super Bowl. Objectively, the 49ers are better to me. If the 49ers lose the Super Bowl, ouch. Because the likelihood of them coming back next year is lower than it was this year. I believe that. I think this is their moment. They have everything working for them. You got that Purdy magic, skill positions galore. Trent Williams is playing now. Greenwald and Warner are balling. A lot of defensive linemen that are on the team now may or may not be there next year. This is it for them. Now, from KC's perspective, as long as you have Pat Mahomes, you got a chance. You have a chance. If you have Pat Mahomes, you have a chance. Now, I'm going to say this. If the 49ers allow Travis Kelce to catch 10 or more passes, they deserve to lose. Come on. Come on. Blanket coverage all day on Travis Kelce. It's no way that Travis Kelce should tear those boys up on Sunday. If he does, you might as well stop even saying one of the best tight ends in the history of the NFL. Just give him the crown. Crown him. Go out and get that Denny Green tape. Crown him. He is what we thought he were. R.I.P. Denny Green. I'm looking forward to that. Watch the Super Bowl. What's your meal of choice in Super Bowl? I don't go crazy. Little buffalo wings, little dip, a little, some nachos, couple slices of pizza, and I'm good to go. Probably going to be pretty low key. Yeah, man. But I mean, this is a great weekend. The Warriors play on prime time on Saturday night before the nation, before the world, and Super Bowl's on Sunday. And we got through the week. I think when I was younger, that week leading up to the Super Bowl, that off week seemed a lot longer. Not anymore, because we're all busy. We got stuff to do. We got jobs. We got careers. We got families. We got things that we need to do. So it's okay. They're selling advertising and getting accommodations ready. And for fans who have an opportunity to go to wherever the Super Bowl destination is, gives them a chance to enjoy that special moment. So it was okay. We're a couple of days away, and it's all good. My man Mark says, no veggie sticks. Haha. You know what? I actually like celery. I love celery. And I like carrots too. So this is my own little Super Bowl menu, if you will. I'm sure if I was out and about at a bar or something, then maybe I would indulge in some celery and some carrots with my buffalo wings. But to tell you the truth, if I'm among friends, then it's all good. But I like being at home, man, because I might doze off for a quarter or two, for 15 minutes or whatever. My couch and my bed start feeling good. You never know. My bathroom's right there, so And I've had great times out at sports bars and family members' houses as well. I've never gone to a Super Bowl. And to be honest with you, it's not something that it's like a bucket list item for me. It's not. It'd be nice, but it's not something I feel that I have to do. Particularly with like how well they make flat screen televisions now. I mean, I recently bought a television. I got a 65-inch Samsung, man. My brother's doing well. All right. SG says the 8 shooters in a starry 3-point contest. Malik Beasley. Okay. Who's winning? That's all I care about. You guys interested in the Steph Curry, Sabrina Ionescu contest or exhibition, if you will? The only thing interesting about Sabrina and Stephen Curry shooting 3-pointers against each other is the idea of whether or not Sabrina can compete and if she could win. That's what makes it interesting. Not that they go on mano a mano, even though she has done things that no other person has done in a 3-point shooting contest. But I don't know. Is that chauvinistic? I don't know. I think Stephen Curry's a better shooter. I don't care what the contest says, the record says. To me, he's a better shooter. The thrill of it all is to see both of them competing on a high level. That's what it is for me. SG said, I'm going to have a drink when watching. Good for you. Good, man. Be safe. My man Mark Graves says, I agree with not going to the sports bar. I'd rather go to a World Cup or to a Super Bowl. I'm sorry. I'd rather go to a World Cup match. Yeah, that would be special. That would be special because you get the world perspective. And I'm gonna tell you something. I haven't been in a while, but I used to go overseas to do basketball camps, right? And I'll name one of the countries I went to. I used to go to Thailand, and I would work with kids at international schools and do basketball clinics. And then I would go and chill in Bangkok, right, for like a week or so and do, some business. All right. I had a business at one point. And going to the bars, those restaurant bars outside, and the satellite beaming First Division soccer from Europe, from London, was literally like watching the NFL on Sundays. That's how immaculate the greens, the fields were, the talent, as opposed to looking at like 5'9", 5'10" great players. There's so many talented soccer players that we don't even know the names of. There's like 6'2", 6'3", tremendous athletes doing incredible things. So World Cup soccer is something that I could definitely get into and look forward to. And, oh, by the way, a couple of years in the United States, we're going to be the envy of the world. So thanks for that nugget, Mark. I appreciate you. I'm Frank Red, everybody. This is the In the Dungeon program. We're talking about the Golden State Warriors' tremendous victory over the Indiana Pacers. A lot of people didn't know about that. I mean, Indiana is 29 and 24 at this point. They've been leaking a little bit. Halliburton is not at full strength, but they're still good, and particularly at home. And the Warriors came in, and as I said before, I think the Warriors embarrassed them today. Clay didn't play. It was really the bench. It was the Podzinskis of the world, the Lester Quinoneses, the Jonathan Kumingas, who were really carrying the load for this team. So big up the Warriors for that. No question about that. I got excited when there were rumors or statements that were true that said that Rex Ryan had interviewed for the Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator position. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, or fortunately, if you're a Mike Zimmer fan, it looks like Mike Zimmer is going to be the defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys. He's good. I mean, he's been great throughout his career. Got his bones, for the most part, in Cincinnati before taking the head job with the Minnesota Vikings. But he has some history with the Dallas Cowboys also. When Bill Parcells was there, Mike Zimmer was there. So, and I think Mike McCarthy probably feels a little more comfortable with a Zimmer as opposed to a Ryan, who has a big personality, So it's going to be interesting to see how the whole thing played out. With regards to Dan Quinn getting the head job in Washington, that's kind of interesting because he got the playbook on the Cowboys. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with regards to that draft pick. The dots are aligned. Hiring Kingsbury, okay, there's a layup there. Whether or not it's going to come to fruition, we don't know. But I think Chicago thinks that they're smarter than everybody else. So if Chicago likes the kid from UNC, Day, and they can get an extra pick from Washington, and they can trade Fields and get another number one, that's going to be a haul. And maybe they can get the quarterback that they want and get a star wide receiver. So it's going to be interesting, to watch those negotiations play out. But Washington has pretty much put their cards on the table. They want Caleb Williams. He's from the area. So he's going to put butts in the seats, and they like his talent. They've hired his quarterback coach already. So if it doesn't happen, I think that would be pretty surprising to everybody else. Mark Graves says, it's amazing how well players play when they are confident. Lester Quinones, Guy Santos look like contributors. Absolutely. And I got to give Guy Santos not an apology, but just give him a salute, because he's actually come on faster than I anticipated. He's not only making a lot of plays from an energy perspective, but he's showing that he has some skill level also. Knocked down a couple of threes today. He's not going to play a lot of minutes, but again, when you as a coach have confidence that you can put players in the game and know that they're not going to unleash the dam, so to speak, and know that they can kind of hold the fort until the starters get back in, then that's a major benefit. So Guy Santos looks like, he could be a role player, a nice role player. And I totally agree with you, Mark. Confidence is everything. And can anybody figure out Wiggins? I'm happy for him. I didn't want to see him get traded. I just wanted to see him play better. Something happened. He's playing good basketball now. And like I said in the tweet, I said, listen, if the Warriors were fixated on trading Andrew Wiggins and they got DeAndre Hunter back, I could stomach that. I could see it. But nobody else. There was not a player out there who was supposedly available that I thought the Warriors could benefit by acquiring that player after trading Andrew Wiggins. I didn't see it. A lot of this stuff is just rubbish. Wiggins and Kuminga can't play together. What? Are you kidding me? Are they basketball players? So I want Wiggins to continue to play as well as he's playing. He's showing how versatile he is too. He can come off the bench. He can be a starter. His defense has been the most consistent part of his game all year. He's been solid. And now he's getting offensive rebounds. He's making shots. He's making free throws. I can talk for a while, but how good do you guys think the Warriors are? How good is this team? Are they clearly, in your view, a first round winner? And then maybe the second round, that's it? How far can this team go? Now, maybe you're looking at it and you're saying, Red, it depends if they get a top 6 seed or if they're in the play-in. Maybe that's part of the conversation. I like their depth. And they have the Rocket Man. No one has, Stephen Curry's on one right now. That dude is balling. Having so much fun. And Jonathan Kuminga, he might score 30 Saturday. He might put 30 on the board. That's how in flow he is right now. My man Mark Graves says, keep telling Wiggins to trade deadline until effect. He will keep playing better. Nah, that's funny. Oh, man. You would think so, right? That's what it says. That's what it sounds like. Because he was gone. And I think he, I don't know, maybe had a conversation with himself, his loved ones, whatever, said, yo, dude, we kind of like it here. You know, we're not all that interested in going to Charlotte, you know, to play basketball, maybe to live, but we like it here. Can you play a little better? You know, we got the money, you know. So yeah, I'm happy for him. And I love the combination of Kuminga, Wiggins, Draymond at the 5, Stephen and Clay, ideally. You know, sometimes Podziemski, you know, throw a Looney in there. But I love that lineup. And I love watching Draymond Green play basketball because Draymond debunks all of the lies. Well, we need a big man. No, you don't. No, you don't. You know, I figure it out. If you are a good 6'8" player, 6'9", you can play at any level and dominate. Because the rim's only 10 feet. So you're not at a disadvantage. You know, you're only at a disadvantage when you don't compete. Bill Russell was 6'9", maybe 6'10". RIP, I stood next to Mr. Russell. He had very long arms, though. Very long arms and was a tremendous athlete. SJ, you gotta stop critiquing men, man. Stop it, dude. I mean, is that your job? Frank, you should grow a mustache. Why? Why? I'm not critiquing you, dude. You know? I'm joking, by the way. I mean, you can critique me all you want. That doesn't mean I'm going to grow a mustache. It's interesting, though, that you like to comment on what people should do. Make your life better, I guess. The biggest surprise in the world, Lamar Jackson won his second MVP award. Kind of anticlimactic based off of his last performance. He got some stench on him, and I know he can't wait to get it off. Still, winning a second MVP is something to be proud of. There's no doubt about that. But as a member of the Baltimore Ravens, I'm sure he can't wait for an opportunity at redemption because although he did not play as poorly as the media made it out to be, that was not a shining moment, if you will, for him, particularly like that last read. I mean, KC had, about 4 or 5 defenders there in the end zone. He just threw the ball up for grabs. It's a bad look. I was disappointed that they didn't have a better showing. But he proved that he's worth the money. That whole saga last year about whether or not Lamar was worth the money. I mean that got uncomfortable. And for him to go out and have the season that he had, that was good to see because he quieted a lot of his critics, and now they have something else to get on him about. You know, you can't play in the big games and stuff like that. But I'm looking forward to him having some redemption next year. CMC Christian McCaffrey was voted the Offensive Player of the Year. That's righteous because I think that he was the most dynamic offensive player in the NFL this year. And he makes the 49ers different. Even in the Super Bowl, if I'm going to pick somebody to win the MVP, if it's an offensive player, I think it's going to be Christian McCaffrey. What say you? If it's close, then yeah, it will go to Purdy. But I think McCaffrey has an opportunity to really set himself apart from everybody on Sunday because he does everything. You know, he's one of the best receivers on the team. He can run outside. He can run in between the tackles. He's a complete back. He's a complete football player. And I think this is going to be his moment. SG says, I thought the MVP would have gone to Purdy. Not me. I didn't think so. As a 49er fan, I'm so upset that the MVP didn't go to Brock Purdy. Why? Why? I don't get it. Part of the experience is feeling good when others have success. Nobody was rooting against Purdy, but I don't think that he should have won the MVP. No, I don't think so. Particularly if his rival for the award was Lamar Jackson. Did you see the game they played? Lamar outplayed him. Simple as that. I also wanted to get this in. It wasn't a slip of the lip either. You guys are aware that 2 days ago, maybe I'm not even going to say that. Maybe she was just speaking truth to power. I apologize for not knowing her name. The Las Vegas mayor, before doing a presser, came out of her mouth with a truth bomb. And she said, I think that the Oakland A's should stay in Oakland. Literally, you heard crashing cars of big money folks in Vegas who's trying to bring the team to Las Vegas, causing traffic jams, choking on bones, eating steaks. She was just so calm, wasn't she? I think the Oakland A's should stay in Oakland. And she was just being truthful. How much money does that city have? You know the NBA's coming. You know, the Raiders have been a financial hit in Vegas. I mean, literally, you could put an NFL team in Utah and it would be successful because it's the NFL. But does it mean anything? I don't think so. I mean, she's a mayor. This is big money talk. And I think it is going to be a colossal blunder by Rob Manfred and anybody else is putting their name on documents that would move this, I don't want to call it atrocity, because it's not, this sports tragedy forward. That's what it is, sports tragedy. But just to hear someone not play nice in the sandbox and tell the truth. Oakland is one of the best baseball markets in the country. The history itself is unbelievable. If the A's stayed in Oakland, it might even save the city. The city got some problems right now. Oakland has some problems. Aussie Rule says, if not the A's, an MLB expansion team will still come to Las Vegas. Yeah, okay. Let them go lose the money. Keep the A's in Oakland. Sell to somebody else. You know? I mean, here's the deal with baseball. You have to build a fan base. There's no fan base in Las Vegas. I know the A's have had like minor league affiliates there. When are you going to play the games? Night? They're not building a dome. It's just, I don't think they have the market. I don't. As she says, the Oakland A's franchise in Vegas would be more fun to watch than, please. Why? Tell me why, SG. Why would the franchises in Vegas be more fun to watch? When you go there once a year, that's why it's fun. Because you go one weekend a year. Fan bases show up on Monday evenings and Tuesday nights, like A's fans. 18,000, 19, 25,000 people on a Monday night. Those are fans. Not someone who buy a weekend package to Vegas, and go gambling and, oh yeah, we're gonna go to the baseball game. Come on, man. MLB territory. Austin Rules, elaborate a little bit for me. What do you mean by that? I'm missing something. Help me out. And I'm a casual baseball fan. It isn't like I'm, up on the roof, pounding, saying, hey, no. But I love Oakland A's fans. They're so loyal. They're like Raider fans, like Oakland Raider fans. They're just so loyal. Because I love to go gambling. Okay. Do you like to go winning? When you gamble, do you win or do you just lose money? I can take Vegas once every couple of years. I could probably even go once a year, but it's not something I want to do a lot at this juncture of my life. Just not. It's a spectacle, though. I mean, it's definitely a spectacle. If you have enough cash and you simply want to go to Vegas and watch a football game and you got a nice hotel room, you have a nice dinner, make it happen. But I'm not doing that every week. It's just not me. I'd rather chill in my crib, nice couch, 65-inch flat screen, watch all the games. That's my deal. Aussie Rue said, A's should be able to go to Fremont, San Jose if they want, but Giants claim those areas as belonging to the Giants. Yeah. I think it's kind of good business for the Giants. I don't love it. But I mean, you got to tell me why you want to leave Oakland, though. I don't particularly like the A's moving to another part of the Bay Area. I mean, if that's what it was, then I get it. And I didn't like also that the mayor of San Jose literally started kind of crafting a plan to kind of save the A's in San Jose when the Oakland A's were in discussion to leave to go to Vegas. I don't particularly like that either. I think they should stay in Oakland. Why? Because I think it would do a lot for the city. Not rebuild where it is now. The stadium should be like most other stadiums, near the water. Near the water. I mean, some beautiful views and landscapes in Oakland. I don't want to see the A's in a suburban town. I don't. Because those areas are not diverse. They're not. San Jose's not diverse. And I mean, to me, that's what sports is. Sports is about diversity. But as an A's fan, I guess if it's a this or that proposition, build it in Fremont versus not have them at all, or build it in San Jose versus not have them at all, I get it. I'm a casual baseball fan, even though I played baseball. But I love diversity. I grew up in New York, playing basketball at West 4th Street Park, this little rinky-dink park right up from the D train. And you see every nationality looking through the fences, watching basketball, watching people of all races and genders playing handball. The essence of New York. That's what I grew up in. I love that. That's what I feel when I go to Oakland A's games or when I go to Raider games. Those two teams have one of the most diverse fan bases in all of sports. Tell me I'm wrong. You can't tell me I'm wrong because I was there. I know. It's so damn diverse. It's lovely, man. Austin Root says Fisher does not just want a stadium. He wants the real estate around the stadium too. Yeah. Yes, he does. And he gonna sell it. Once that, success is not gonna be based on if people show up. It's not. Success is gonna be based on how much you can get for it. After not putting a whole lot of money up to get things built. Imagine that. Not being attached to the millions, the billions that it takes to get that thing off the ground and still having the majority ownership. Talk about a sweetheart deal for him. When the mayor says we don't want you in our city, can you imagine that? Can you imagine the San Francisco mayor telling Laker, you know what? We think you should stay in Oakland. No. She wouldn't be there. I thought that was bizarre, but I was happy to hear her say that. All right. The Golden State Warriors, within a blink of an eye, are now 24-25. One game below 500. They take on the Phoenix Suns on Saturday on a nationally televised game. And I think the Warriors are going to take care of business for some of the reasons I spoke to. I just don't believe in Phoenix's defense. Great talent. They're going to put numbers up. But I think defense is how you win championships. That's what I think. So a lot of people who have written the Warriors off maybe need to write a different narrative, because I think this team is on the rise and they have an opportunity to have a really good year. Now, can they win 20 more games? Because the Warriors, the Warriors are, let's just say if they won on Saturday, they would be, 25-25 with 32 games left. Could the Warriors go 20-12 and be 8 games over 500 for the rest of the year? If they did that, they win 45 games. That would be close to the 6th seed. That'd be close. I don't know if it might within a game or two. Maybe the 6th seed. Last year, the 6th seed was 44 games. I think maybe this year, 40, 46, 47. So they got to play good ball. It'll be interesting to see if they can do it. RC Rules says, Steph on fire again. Yeah, man. Some of those shots that he makes is just, it's so awesome to watch. because it's like, I don't know if the ball going through the hoop or the disappointment of whomever was guarding him on that play is a better watch. I mean, to see grown men dejected like that, I love watching that. And Steph is just so, gives this little pray to God thing, goes back down. I love it. All right. Yo, it's time for me to get out of here. I want to thank y'all for checking me out. As I said before, this is In the Dungeon Show. If you have not subscribed to the show thus far and you like it, hit the subscribe button. We're slowly but surely moving in the right direction, but we need a tsunami of subscribers. We really do. All right. Hit the like button so this show can get out there. This is technology, folks. This is how it works. All right. Also, if you want to follow me on X, Twitter, then follow me at Big Frank Red. It's all good. I also put out something on X about my new song that's out. It's called Where I'm Supposed to Be. Give it a listen if you follow me on X. I know it's good because I like it, but I'm interested in getting your thoughts on it. It's not going to bother me either way, again, because I've already won. When you write a song, you go in the studio, you put it out yourself, you make all the decisions, and you actually own the publishing, you win it. You win it. So I'm feeling real good right now. Best hand-eye coordination I've ever seen. A magician. No question, man. Thank you, brother. Watch party doing dub game. Possible. Huh. You follow me on X? Tell me more about that. Reach out to me. Let me know what's up. That might be interesting. I never thought of that. All right, I'm going to do my thing and get out of here, everybody. Success and getting paid is a manifestation of the whole process. If you as an individual don't do things to help other people make their lives better, as far as I'm concerned, you haven't done nothing. All right? I'm Frank Red. And I look forward to talking to you in a couple of days, probably after the Phoenix Suns and the Warriors do battle. But who knows? Maybe there's a new idea out there that my man just put in the chat. So we'll see. Good night, everybody. Peace.